All right. LDWMMAC, this is your boy Coach Sheldon Harrison. You're live on the Coach Sheldon Harrison Combat Sports Show Live. Okay, guys, the title of this video is What Easy Fights is Cris Cyborg Gonna Get at Bellator? What easy fights do people think that she's gonna get at Bellator? Stay tuned. Old school coach is coming back, and we're gonna debunk these silly notions that Cris is gonna get an easy cakewalk at Bellator. Stay tuned. Okay, guys, this video, we're not going to play any music because I definitely want you to focus on exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so here, these are the top 3 featherweights at Bellator. Okay, now, one can argue, we can say that Leslie Smith, I should put her in the top 3, but, you know, to be all honesty with Leslie Smith, she spent the majority of her career at bantamweight, so that's why I didn't include Leslie Smith in this video, okay? Now, these are the top 3 bantamweights. I mean, these are the top 3 featherweights at Bellator. Okay, you've got other, featherweights that are doing very well. You've got some that are pretty strong. But, let's really look at what these people and what kind of, resumes they have. Okay, you have your champion, Julia Budd. Okay, you have your champion, Julia Budd. I mean, she's been defending that belt left and right. She's an active fighter. And right beside Julia Budd, you can see her resume, okay? She beat the newcomer, the prospect. I mean, and Olga Rubin has been, going through Bellator, and she's been beating top competition. And we'll talk about Olga Rubin later. But we can look at the bulk of Julia Budd's resume that you see on the screen. Julia Budd has been in there with some of the top talent in the world. Not just at Bellator, but some of the top featherweights in the world. Now, I wouldn't expect the casual fan to even understand, who the top featherweights are. And I know Dana White don't. Because if Dana White knew who was on Julia's resume, then he wouldn't have made those ignorant, bald-ass head statements, okay? Let's look at Talita Nogueira. Okay, definitely, man. Strong Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and she fought Julia Budd for the title. She earned her way for a title shot. Arlene Blencowe, don't let the record fool you. Don't let her record fool you. This woman, she's been in there with some of the top talent in the world. And she's just as tough as they come, and she's getting better and better every single fight. Okay, Arlene Blencowe is a beast. And also, with that being said, Arlene Blencowe has actually, and physically, I'm talking about verbally called out Cyborg on multiple occasions. Okay, so you got women in Bellator. All these women. Okay, and I've interviewed these women except for Julia Budd. And they all wanted smoke with Cris Cyborg. And even Julia Budd was saying, look, hell, I want to rematch Amanda Nunes. This Julia Budd, and she got smoked by Amanda Nunes. Everybody has gotten smoked by Nunes. Julia Budd said, listen, I want to run that back. Okay, Julia Budd fought Marloes Coenen, and we all know who Marloes Coenen is. I mean, Marloes Coenen has been in fights with some of the best in the world, also Cris Cyborg. Okay, Julia Budd beat Marloes Coenen. Cyborg beat Marloes Coenen. Okay, see, the list goes on and on and on for the champion Julia Budd. Okay, Gabrielle Holloway. Nobody really knows about Gabrielle Holloway. Gabby Holloway is a top, and don't let her record. See, people always get caught up in the records, man. See, the thing of it is, the Bellator fighters, what they're doing is they're fighting other fighters. They're fighting each other. They're fighting each other. And these featherweights, they've identified themselves as some of the best featherweights in the world. Okay, the featherweight division, people think, well, there's not a lot of featherweights, not a lot of featherweights. No, they are. Most of them in Bellator. The majority of the stack of the featherweights are in Bellator. Okay? Nobody knows who Danielle West is. Nobody even knows who Danielle West is, okay? And she lost to Ronda Rousey, and she lost to Nunes. She's only lost 2 fights, okay, to 2 top opponents. And back then, Ronda Rousey, was running through the whole, she was running through everybody. And Amanda Nunes, was coming up on the scene. And Amanda Nunes in Strikeforce was making a name for herself. And when Amanda Nunes, finally went back up to 145 pounds, she went and she sparked Julia Budd. Okay, Is this an easy fight for Cris Cyborg, Julia Budd? Let's really think about what we're saying and what Dana White is saying. Is this an easy fight for Cris Cyborg? It's not going to be an easy fight. I think Cyborg would go in there and beat Julia Budd. And hell, I even think Cyborg would knock out Julia Budd. I think she would. But it's not going to be an easy fight. Not at all. Okay, because see, I'm going to tell you, think about who do we have in the UFC? Okay, in the UFC, that's a featherweight. And we can even say some of the bantamweights that sometimes they moonlight as featherweights. Who do you think in the UFC can actually defeat Julia Budd that's not named Amanda Nunes or Cris Cyborg? Okay, well, Cris is no longer in the UFC, as far as we know. Okay? Who can beat Julia Budd? And I'm not throwing shade on any fighter, but who is left in there that's got enough experience to beat Julia Budd? I definitely don't think Felicia Spencer does. Okay, and then, you got Zara Dos Santos. You got Megan Anderson. They can't beat Cris Cyborg. And I'm not talking about people who are moon. I'm talking about legit 145 pounders. Who do you think could beat Julia Budd? Okay, okay, I'll put their resumes up here in a minute. Let's look at Arlene Blencowe. Arlene Blencowe, 12-7. Now, people say, well, man, she sucks. She's got 7 losses. Okay, that is correct. But she's lost to some of the top talent in the world. Okay, she lost to Jessie Rose Clark, and people don't even know Jessie Rose Clark has fought at 3 different weight classes. Jessie Rose Clark technically need to be a featherweight. Okay, Jessie Rose Clark legit need to be a featherweight. How she got down to 125 pounds, I'll never know. But Jessie Rose Clark no longer fights at 125. Okay, Arlene Blencowe used to be a boxer. She was a decent boxer, but she's very durable and she's tough in mixed martial arts. Okay, she lost to Julia Budd twice. The second fight, I think she beat Julia Budd. I think she legit beat Julia Budd, and she had Julia Budd in parts of that fight. She had Julia Budd afraid to strike because this woman, Arlene Blencowe, is so underrated. But she's one of the better counterpunchers in the whole world. Blencowe. Arlene Blencowe. Okay? Now, her biggest win, one of her biggest wins came over Amanda Bell and Gabby Holloway, and people don't even know who they are. Okay, and people say, well, Gabby Holloway record, Gabby Holloway been fighting other good featherweights. Like, why is it that, when people like Dana White think, oh, Cris, come over here to Bellator, there are no tough fighters. Arlene Blencowe is as tough as they come. Okay, she got a win over Adriana Jenkins. See, I need to do a whole featherweight special for y'all. I really need to, because there's so many of these fighters, man, that people don't even know who the hell they are. Okay, Sinead Kavanaugh. Okay, she beat Sinead Kavanaugh. Sinead Kavanaugh is tough. Tough as hell. Irish woman. Tough. Now, Sinead would probably tell you, I think I should have won that fight, but Arlene Blencowe dominated that fight, in my opinion. Okay, she lost to Marloes Coenen, which, Marloes Coenen, what, 28-3? No, she's 23-8, 23-9. Okay, Marloes Coenen beat a lot of people. Okay, Marloes Coenen will probably go down in the Hall of Fame. When they do a Women's MMA Hall of Fame, okay, Marloes Coenen going in there. All right, it is what it is. Arlene Blencowe, she's starting to actually peak at the right moment. And she's trying to look for that Julia Budd fade again. She want to fade it back out with Julia Budd. This is the only person in Bellator right now who has taken Julia Budd the distance both times. Okay, Julia Budd been in Bellator finishing people. Julia Budd been in there knocking people out. She can't knock out Angerfist. This woman she's given Julia Budd the toughest matchup so far in Bellator. And Angerfist, Blencowe, her opponents and other fighters, man, she's revered. So is this going to be an easy fight for Cyborg? I'm going to tell you something, man. Pure strikers. It's how the styles match up. I'm not looking at the records. Do I think Cyborg beat Blencowe? Yeah, I do. But it's not going to be an easy fight. First of all, Blencowe can take a punch. Julia Budd is very heavy-handed, and Julia Budd kicks would knock you the hell out. I saw Blencowe eat shots. I saw Blencowe eat kicks from Julia Budd. Blencowe was still standing in the gap, standing in the pocket with Julia Budd. She stood in the pocket. She took Julia Budd's best shots. Still standing in the pocket. But Cyborg got easy fights. Okay, Olga Rubin. Again, we can argue and say Leslie Smith, but Cyborg's already dominated and defeated Leslie Smith, and she had to go down to a freaking catch weight. Okay, and she knocked out Leslie Smith. Olga Rubin is probably one of the top younger talents in Bellator. Now, she took a nasty body kick from Julia Budd. It was a nasty one, man. And I think that body kick could have put anybody down, man. But Olga Rubin, she beat Iona Rastafarian. And I always pronounce the girl name wrong, and people don't even know who Ione is. People don't even know who that is. Like, Ione is a damn good fighter. And Ione took this fight on short notice. She took the fight on. I'm gonna tell you, man. Ione probably could have won the matchup with Rubin, and it's somebody else I got to keep. I really got to talk about Ione Rastafarian. She beat Cindy Dandois, and people keep sleeping on Cindy. Cindy got a pretty decent resume. Her resume is not bad. And Cindy went over there. She took King Rena's and King Rena was tearing people up and rising. And this will tell you that there's levels to this game. See, people sleep on Cindy. They talk noise about Cindy. They say all kind of stuff. But I tell you what, you put Cindy in there, give Cindy a training camp where she not hurt, give her a training camp, and I guarantee you Cindy can take down one of your favorite strikers. But Olga Rubin, if you look at her resume, the top names on her resume are definitely those are the two. Three names, Cindy Dandois, Ione Rastafarian, and Julia Budd. And she lost in a title fight to Julia Budd. It was hard, man. She had a hard time with Cindy Dandois. She almost lost to Ione. But Cris Cyborg coming over here, and she's going to have an easy fight schedule in Bellator. Let's look at the fighters. Let's look at the top three UFC legit featherweights. Okay, let's look at them. Now here you have Megan Anderson, Felicia Spencer, and Zerafern Dos Santos. Okay, Megan Anderson, has a 9-4 record. Okay, Megan Anderson, when she's gotten in there against top competition, she's lost, except for Cat Zingano. And guys, you got to give Megan full credit for Cat Zingano. Don't matter if it's a toe in the eye or not. Megan Anderson went in there and she stopped Cat. She stopped Cat. A toe in the eye don't matter. Megan Anderson landed a head kick that landed, that stopped Cat Zingano. So I gave Megan Anderson full credit for Cat Zingano. But you look at all the other fights that Megan Anderson has had against top opponents. She can't win those fights. Okay? I'll give her credit for Lee Brock. Lee Brock is tough. Amanda Bell is very tough. But I don't give her credit for Charmaine Tweet. Charmaine Tweet was 50 years old in that fight. And Charmaine Tweet damn near finished Megan Anderson. Damn near finished her. Okay? I mean, she hit Megan with a spinning back fist, had Megan ass damn near out on her feet. Okay? I can never see this. I can't find this first fight against Zoe. I can't find that fight. Okay? But the loss to Cindy Dandois, that's online. You can watch that. And you can see how Cindy Dandois can take a striker, break him down, and get him to the ground. She did it to Megan Anderson. She did it to King Rena. Okay, that's just what it is. And then we all know what happened with Holly Holm. Holly Holm dominated Megan Anderson on the ground, and Felicia Spencer choked out Megan Anderson. Okay, this is what it is. Okay, tell me, do you think Megan Anderson can match up against the top three at Bellator? Do you think Megan Anderson can beat Julia Budd? Do you think she can beat Angerfist, who went the distance twice with Julia Budd? And Julia Budd is knocking people out. Okay, do you think that Megan Anderson can possibly beat Olga Rubin? I mean, do you think, because Olga Rubin is tough. Do you think that can happen? I don't think so. I don't think Megan Anderson can actually deal with Olga Rubin. Okay, me personally, I don't think Megan can deal with Rubin because of how the styles match up. How stylistically Rubin is a bad matchup for Megan Anderson. Okay, I mean, do you guys really think that Anderson can beat Angerfist Blencowe? Angerfist Blencowe is one of the top strikers in the world. Megan Anderson, no. And Megan Anderson damn sure ain't beating Julia Budd. That's just what it is. It's not going to happen. Okay? Now we got Felicia Spencer. Felicia Spencer right now, okay, is probably, I'll tell you this, okay? Felicia Spencer lost a big fight, okay? And I told y'all there's levels to this. It's different levels. Pam Sorensen, I give her credit for Pam Sorensen. That's a quality win. And I don't give her as much credit for Megan Anderson because Megan Anderson already been exposed. But Felicia Spencer, she was in a tough fight against Pam Sorensen. Okay? And I don't know why Dana always taking a dump on Pam. Pam was a good fighter. And Pam thought Felicia, she was sick. I mean, y'all know Pam had that huge tumor in her stomach that they pulled out. I don't even know if people remember that tumor. It was a huge, gigantic tumor. Pam was sick. She was sick for a long time. And you know what? Had Pam not have been sick, I think Pam Sorensen even could have pulled out that win against Spencer. I think she could have. But see, you fight Megan Anderson, and then you go to Cyborg. Guys, that's night and day. Felicia Spencer to be honest, never had a chance in hell to beat Cris Cyborg. She didn't. Do you think Felicia Spencer can beat Julia Budd? I don't think so. You think she can beat Anger Fist? Anger Fist got some of the best takedown defense in the business. I'll give Felicia Spencer a chance against Arlene Blencowe and Olga Rubin. I'll give her a chance. And I think Spencer will probably go in there and give a good account of herself against those two. I don't think she beats Julia Budd. I just don't, okay? Felicia Spencer not beating Julia Budd. So where's Dana getting this like, oh, but Cris Cyborg finna go to Bellator and have these easy matchups? Now, you know, this is my sister over here, Zara Fernando Santos, okay? This is my sister, and I want my sister to do well. I want her to do well in the UFC, okay? But they're matching this girl up against Megan Anderson. Now, I want you to answer the question. Why do you think they're matching my sister up with Megan Anderson? Because they think she can't fight. Zara Fernando Santos, she really hasn't had the opportunity to face the elite level competition. But I think she's good enough to beat Megan Anderson. I don't think Zara Fernando Santos can beat Julia Budd. I don't think she can beat Anger Fist. And I don't believe that she can beat Olga Rubin. Not right now. You give her a little bit more time. You give her a little bit more experience. She'll be very competitive. Okay, I think she can beat Megan Anderson. Okay, but I don't know. So tell me, if Cris Cyborg stays, okay, the only fight, you know, they wouldn't put her in there with Megan Anderson. We already know Cris Cyborg would murk Megan Anderson. They would not put her in there with Dos Santos. Okay, why would they do that? Now let's go ahead and let's talk about some of the other bantamweights that they can pull up. They can pull up Leah Letson. I mean, you know, Leah is a top raw young talent. Do y'all think she can beat Cyborg yet? I mean, guys, let's just be honest. I like Leah. I talk to Leah from time to time, but I don't know if she can handle Cyborg. I think Leah Letson, though, could probably deal with Olga Rubin. And I even think Leah Letson will probably give Anger Fist some problems. But I think Anger Fist will win the fight. But I don't think Leah Letson, this stage in her career, can beat Julia Budd. I don't think she can. Okay? Macy Chiasson. Hell, she tough as nails. Okay? I think Macy Chiasson could probably go in there. I don't know if she beats Olga Rubin. I don't know. Okay? Macy Chiasson would probably, now, I'm talking about stylistically, I think she would give Anger Fist Blencowe. I think she'd give her problems. And I think stylistically, Macy is a tougher matchup for Anger Fist than she is for Rubin. And I don't think Macy Chiasson can beat Julia Budd. So I got to start thinking, you know, what about Babe Malecki? I think Babe Malecki lose to all three of them. Rubin, Anger Fist, and Budd. So, guys, I got to understand, where's Dana White coming from? Where are these easy fights at? And you know they're not going to put Cyborg in there against a low-level Bellator fighter. They're not. The first fight that they're going to give Cyborg is going to be either Julia Budd or Anger Fist Blencowe. That's it. That's it. And they really, and honestly, they want to make the Julia Budd fight. They want that fight. That's the fight. So, I mean, think about it. What are they going to give Cyborg? Cyborg going right to the front of the line. Let's go back to the Bellator roster. Let's go back to them. Okay? This is the Bellator roster. Guys, listen. Okay, they won't put Cyborg in there with Rubin. Cyborg would murk Rubin. She would destroy Rubin. Okay? Blencowe would give her a tough, but the fight that Bellator know that can make the most money is Julia Budd. What easy fight is Cris going to get, Dana? Like, I got to understand. And, you know, you got other people that's saying it. I've had people leave me comments where Cris just scared, so she want to come over to Bellator, and, you know, she just want to take easy fights. Really? Really? I mean, no. It's not going to get any easier for Cris Cyborg. If anything, you got more competition. You got more people with experience. And these are just the top 3 Bellator fighters. These are top 3. You got other fighters in the featherweight division. I think Scott Coker knew what he was doing when he took a monopoly on the featherweights. Maybe even Scott Coker probably thought to himself, maybe Cris Cyborg would come to Bellator one day. Maybe he thought that. I don't know. But I do know Scott Coker is in a good position right now to get a good fighter. He's in a good position. If he bags Cyborg, I'm going to tell you now, man, they're going to make some interesting matchups. Okay? And I think Cris Cyborg would defeat Julia Budd. And then I think the rematch will be even bigger. Okay, because Julia Budd is going to give Cyborg a tough match. But I think Cyborg is going to knock her out by round 4. Okay, definitely by round 4. Okay, I believe that. Because Julia's 36, Cris is 34. The matchup is going to be good. Okay, neither one of these two people keep saying Cris lost a step. Okay, show me. Show me where. Okay? It is what it is, guys. Okay, Cris is not going to get there. What easy fights again versus what she got in the UFC? The only fight that makes sense in the UFC is Amanda Nunes. That's it. That's the toughest fight that Cris Cyborg can take in the UFC. The rest of these girls, Cris Cyborg beats them easily. And that's just the way that is. Game, set, debunk.